Hey everybody, this is just another bonus episode, hopefully bringing you a little levity for your morning commute. This is the last bonus episode before we launch into Season 4 starting next week. Hope you enjoy. Where's your liquid death, bud? I thought that was going to be like a tradition.
Oh, man. Yeah, just
That
coffee
was
today.
impressive. That whole... I couldn't do that.
I have not had liquid death in a while, actually.
My cousin can do a perfect old school AOL dial up. Yeah, he does it so well. It's like Police Academy 3.
Man,
Before there was cable internet, we used to have to dial on a phone.
Speaking to the microphone, please.
We used to have to call the internet on the phone line. And it was a problem if your parents wanted to use the phone.
Does it make you feel old? Talking to Cam and Sarah that way? Makes me
Remember
feel
you used to
old.
get the CD with like 20 free hours of AOL?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got so pumped.
It's like calling cards.
It was the largest internet provider of its time.
The year was
when-
1995. Al Gore was the vice president.
Who invented the
Who
internet.
invented
by the
the
way.
internet.
Yeah, good for him.
And
That's huge.
there was the little running man.
Yep.
That was the first text message / email was instant messenger.
the words that "you've got mail" were magical.
You've got mail.
You've got mail.
Yeah. It was like someone loved you. Someone wanted to send you
And
a
then when you
message.
you would send an email,
Oh, yeah.
it was like, I don't know where it went.
Off into the cloud.
It went
If you
into
watch
the
Mission
oblivion.
Impossible 1, like an envelope comes over the email and then it goes out like it's a...
As I recently did, actually. I did like a little Mission Impossible
We were a
marathon.
CompuServe family, but that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to make sure that no one was on the phone when you
Yep.
were on the internet.
Yeah.
Because as soon as somebody picked up,
You're done.
you're done.
Dunzo.
Yeah.
You can be in like an intense online conversation.
That's the death. You were in the Matrix, and then you weren't.
So I was in Mexico, so like we couldn't call them. So like if I just got bumped off, it could be days before I got back on.
How old were you when the internet became a thing?
I think I was like a sophomore in high school, so that would have been 2002.
No. The internet was a thing in 1995.
No, I'm saying like for me,
oh,
like
for,
to actually
okay.
experience AOL Instant Messenger was like 2001, 2002.
I mean, I grew up not really having. Well, that's true for all of us. We didn't have cell phones.
I didn't get a cell phone until I was a junior in college.
I was a sophomore in college. My first cell phone. I had a landline freshman year.
Okay.
But,
Well, in my dorm, everybody had, my wife makes fun of me because I call them walk-around phones, like the cordless landline.
also known as a cell phone.
No. It was a landline. with a cordless phone.
yeah, I
Yeah.
got you.
And we would walk around the dorm with our cordless phone in case we got a call because we didn't have cell phones. So like you would be in the lounge playing ping pong and like your phone would ring because somebody's calling you on
Yeah.
the inter-campus line.
With
Like
a
a-
giant plastic brick in your...
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge. It was
Gone
like
off,
this big.
gone off. We do not hold the beach. We do not hold the beach.
We had a voicemail thing on our dorm phone. Like you could call.
Yeah.
So if like I called Janelle and she wasn't there, I would leave her a voicemail
Oh.
on her landline.
There used to be, you stick little sticky notes next to the phone
Yep.
for
right.
messages
Yep.
that came in.
I
Good grief.
remember my first pager. Thought that was
You
so
had a
cool.
pager?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a pager?
I did not. My father wouldn't allow me because
wasn't allowed
that's
to.
what drug dealers used.
That's fair.
Please tell us
that's
more,
on brand,
Ryan.
though. Yeah, that's on brand. I bought a watch that looked like a pager.
What's that?
I had a watch that looked like a pager that I would carry around on my belt,
I actually had
pretending
a
it was a pager.
Really?
bubble gum
Yeah.
pack that looked like a pager.
I remember that.
It was little sticks of gum.
But you could only like text numerical code. So
Yeah.
my friends, we all had different codes and different meanings for things. Secret language.
Oh gosh. In my mind, I'm 26.
I just have always thought that like 40 was super old. So I haven't hit that yet. I think if you're someone in the room who's like hit 40 or beyond, that's geriatric.
Are you quite?
I'm right here.
Are you quite
so-
done? Are you quite done?
Oh, wait, both of you guys. Oh, that's right.
I am 41. Ryan is now sporty 40.
That's right.
Jared, how old are you? You pup.
37. Still got my joints. Still got the vitality.
You know how I celebrated my 40th? Double pink eye.
That's right.
Also, we're pretty sure it wasn't pink eye, bro. More like leprosy of the face. It was
I looked like
bad.
a zombie.
It was pretty big.
You and
It
your
got
brother.
Pretty
Yeah,
big.
my brother. It was bad.
And then you got an ear infection too, right?
Double ear infection.
Everything was leaking
over
out
your
of your
nose.
head.
I just, yeah.
They had
Just a
we did a
reminder.
bonus episode with Joe Allen and Dave, your brother.
Yeah.
They were just going off on it,
Oh, it
talking
was-
about like what happened, and the fact that the two of you got it separate from one another. You weren't even in proximity,
That's
But
the
you got it
crazy
different
thing.
eyes, right? Like
Yeah.
he was left, you
Yeah.
were right, or vice
Yeah,
versa.
yeah.
That's so funny.
but it spread to both. No,
It eventually.
eventually did. No, Dave was down in San Diego.
Yep. So crazy.
You looked horrible. I mean,
Have you thought
I
about
was
washing your
concerned.
hands sometimes? I don't know. It's just
Never had it as a kid, but I had it when I turned 40. Is that awful?
And then your
That's a
dad
good
got
gift.
it.
Dad got it.
That's why I think it was something more than pink eye, because then your ears.
Okay, so check this out. Rach got an ear infection too. So we both got ear infections. She went to urgent care last night, and the nurse said, "You won't believe this, but we've had a crazy amount of people coming in for pink eye and ear infections this summer." So I think in 6 months, there'll be like this retroactive study on the summer of 2023 that there was some crazy virus that went around, and it was like pink eye, ear infection, congestion.
COVID-3.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking more like chemtrails, but yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Ooh, you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Conspiracy.
Rabbit hole. Rabbit hole. Here we go. Down
Anyone in the
rabbit
room like
hole.
conspiracy theories? Anyone?
That's just for our Patreon subscribers.
Yeah. Our paywall will now move to the next part of the podcast. No. It's August. Both your wives are teachers. Is the month of August a month of angst, or is it one of kind of like excitement because the rhythm of the school year will put all things into order?
I think there's anticipation of the kids going back because they're starting to get kind of that cabin fever.
Yep.
But I think especially Rach, because she's doing her master's degree, she's doing legacy and Gorman. It's a lot. So she's just trying to figure out her rhythm,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, Janelle just changed schools. She's over at Arroyo Seco now and went from part-time to full-time. So I don't know that it like
English?
teaching English. Yeah, seventh grade English. I don't know that excitement is the word she would use. I mean, she's really excited to be there. She loves the environment. But I think it's like overwhelming at first, right? To be at a new place, to try to learn new kids' names, new rhythms.
It's a mixed bag for Team Miller. I mean, we are thankful for the rhythm of the school year. Puts things in sort of order, and a predictable order. You know what day-to-day is going to look like. My son got his driver's license.
So awesome.
Yeah, so that has opened up different categories of faith-based angst. And kind of just like, okay.
Has your prayer life increased, Aaron?
Buddy. Well, you know what? The app 360 is magic. That is
Does
awesome.
it tell you if he's speeding?
Yes.
It does, really?
And it tells you
So glad my parents didn't have that.
It's crazy.
how much battery he has left on his phone. So yeah, he was at a friend's house, or he had a youth group function Saturday night. And then he called me. He's like, "Hey, there's going to be another hangout at this other person's house, and they're all church friends." So, okay, great. I see that you're 22% on your phone, so you need to plug that in. It's like, oh.
I remember those years, though, in high school. That was like when the world opened up. It was like, we can go anywhere.
Yeah,
and by
well-
anywhere, I mean this person's house and Wendy's and this other person's house.
Well, Ingrid and we just entered into another layer of freedom because, the first one was we didn't need a babysitter, which is,
Right.
oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no, drive yourself to practice. Also, pick up some milk on the way home.
Yeah.
Just all the stuff. But we got 3 teenagers now. It's a reality.
That's amazing.
Second child, my oldest daughter, turned 15 in August, and then Kensington, our youngest, turned 13. We'll turn 13 September 2nd, so it's like, I don't know. You realize time is just going.
Well,
by.
I was just going to say, I remember coming here almost 10 years ago, and Kenzie would have been 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Just-
Yeah, jeez.
Oh, man.
Aaron, just moments ago, I said that my wife wasn't excited to go back to school. I want to rectify that. She was so thankful for this new opportunity and is very excited about it.
Folks, what you just experienced is there's this tiny voice in the back of Jared's head that sounds an awful lot like, Janelle. And it's always talking to him. And
It gets really loud when I lay down and like, hey, I just want to rehearse for you the top 5 dumb things you said today. And it's not too late to text those people right now and apologize. Every night. And then sometimes when I really can't sleep, it's like, let's go back to the greatest hits from 20 years ago. Let's go to the Hall of Fame of embarrassment that is your existence. So yeah, that was that voice.
gosh, well, the fall's coming. Are you stressed? I mean, Jared, we pulled you out of sabbatical to do this podcast, which thank you so much for being here. So I don't know if you're experiencing levels of stress.
I shouldn't be stressed because I'm on sabbatical.
But you are,
But
bro.
I am, in fact, stressed.
Do we want to, Ryan, should we dive into this with Jared?
Sure.
Well, we don't have to talk about me.
No, I think we should. I
Let's
think
go
we
for
do,
it.
actually. What's going on? What's going on in the Burkholder household?
So everybody's out of routine right now. I'm not in my normal routine. The kids changed schools, Janelle changed jobs. And then we were on the East Coast for a month, which was great. Got to see Mike and Abby Dixon, see their church, which was really cool. See my in-laws, see my kids got to see their cousins. We saw my family, went to the beach with them, which was great. Last week we were there at the beach trying to eat some ice cream that was melting far too fast. And we got a call from a social worker telling us that Daniel's mom had another baby and asking if we would be willing to take her in. And it was like, oh, I got to go because I got to finish this ice cream. Let me call you back. So we got the chance to think about it, and there's a lot more to it, but ended up bringing home a baby girl a week ago yesterday. So newborn, she's 5 weeks old. So yeah, it's been wonderfully chaotic to now have 4 kids. I remember Phil and Michelle Marcelin always telling us that 3's for quitters. And we'd gone back and forth about whether or not we wanted 4 kids. And I think we settled on like, we'll leave our license open in case one of our kids' moms has another baby. And that just happened way sooner than we expected. So
it is providential that you were on your sabbatical when this happened.
it is wonderful because it just is more margin to be home at nights and weekends and get to first 6 weeks of a new placement in foster care. Just crazy. There's tons of doctor's visits and social worker visits and everything. So it's good to get to be around for that. So working on my doctorate, trying to finish the project, making progress, and then, feeding a baby at 3 or 4 in the morning.
We have missed you.
I miss being here.
Around.
I mean, I know I'm on sabbatical, but I've been around just because I miss all y'all's faces and my office a lot. It's hard to be office homeless. And like, you can only go to so many Starbucks before.
It is a busy fall, though. It's coming.
It is, yeah.
And so you'll still be on sabbatical through the end of September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? I don't even know. I don't even know what date it is, what month it is.
I don't know. I mean, Ryan, you want to start first?
Sure. I think it was helpful this year to think about the summer as June and July rather than July and August.
Yeah.
So that August really feels like we're prepping for the ministry season. So I think the biggest things are everything's launching. So it's choir, it's orchestra, it's kids choir, our songwriting ministry. We're working on that kids catechism record. Really excited about. So we have about 7 songwriters who have submitted songs. So we're going through that process of evaluating them and choosing kind of the top ones. But I'm super excited about our base camp ministry and letting that be a venue to teach catechisms like they have been doing, but then tie it to music. So, and then to see how that plays into the rest of the year, then culminating with Summer Adventure next year. I was blown away by Summer Adventure this year.
I know it.
Man,
Goodness.
The amount of feedback that we got from folks who don't attend here,
right,
and maybe just discovered us this year, and just going like, "Hey, my kids now read the Bible."
Yep.
Or they didn't have a Bible, and one of your leaders gave that to us.
It is Grace Baptist Church at her best.
I agree.
It is like all hands on deck. It is.
Yeah.
It's
and like
marvelous.
gives everyone a chance to use all the giftings.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Like such a variety. I mean, it really is like a 1 Corinthians 12 kind of thing where everyone's gift coalesces into this one week, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Aren't you traveling too?
Traveling. Yep. So Sovereign Grace is putting out a record based on knowing God. I know we've talked about this on the podcast. And so the time has come to record. But 2 weeks before we record, we're going to rehearse those songs, put the demos together. And so I'm excited for that.
I thought you were going to Nashville, though.
I am also going to Nashville.
Oh, okay.
So
did you forget about that?
No. So
that's what I was thinking about. But you
oh
mentioned
yeah, there's the Louisville Sovereign Grace trip, and then I'm going to Nashville for Sing. So that'll be fun.
Just hanging out with Keith Getty. No big deal.
Going with Joe, playing a little bass, and it'll be fun.
Oh, I didn't know you were playing.
I wasn't planning on it, and then I think word got out that I was going.
The messaging rippled through Nashville that Ryan Fogelsong was coming.
Did you say Ryan?
That's false.
Fogelsong?
Wow. What are you doing? What are you doing there, big guy?
It's Grace U classes. It's marriage ministry. It is
articles.
It is articles that I'm writing. Preaching a few times for when Dave's gone. He's going to Honduras in October. Honduras. Did I say that?
You said it right. I just wanted to speak with a lisp. Honduras.
Is that how they speak with a lisp?
No. It's not like Argentina or something like that.
So why did
it's not Castillo Spanish? I don't know what I do.
Then why did you do that?
I've told you my sensors usually lagging behind what I say.
Listen to me, my friend. You need to qualify certain things because you say things so well and so intelligently in how they sound that people will just buy into it and think it's gospel truth.
Well, I told you that's my...
No. I don't want to go around going, well, I have a friend who actually, the way you pronounce that is Honduras.
If you just talk fast and with confidence, then people know. It's like carrying a ladder with a vest. You can get into any place. People just assume you belong there. Yeah,
that's true.
Jared's ladder is his tongue. Hey everybody, don't miss an opportunity to invest in your marriage this fall with a 6-week study through Timothy Keller's Meaning of Marriage. The study won't begin until the second week of October and will meet in various locations throughout the valley, from our church campus to various homes of our church members. You can begin to register starting in September on our website. Just go to gracebaptist.org/marriage. We hope this study would be an encouragement to you and your marriage.
Speaking of preaching, you guys both preached at Gavin Orton's church.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great.
That was a really sweet congregation.
It's a precious congregation. It's like a church of about 100, 120-ish.
Yeah. I think maybe 100, upwards of 170. I got to connect with some of their elders, which was great.
Yeah.
You preached on Jonah, Aaron.
I preached, yes, the entire book of Jonah.
Gospel
According to Jonah.
I love that.
Walking through Jonah. That's fun.
And then what did you do?
I warmed up a biscuit just preaching about rest.
Nice.
Yeah. Put it in the microwave.
Where was he?
I think he was on the East Coast.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't think to ask, or maybe I did. I forgot.
Ojai's beautiful.
Ojai's beautiful.
Oh.
It's
The
a little
drive
far.
in is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that's like an hour away or less than.
I know. It feels
Yeah.
like another world.
Uh-huh.
The ranches, at least the road we took going in, like
Yeah.
those ranches that are there before you get into town are
Oh, yeah.
incredible.
Now, I had never really spent a lot of time there. Ryan and Rachel came to hear me preach that one Sunday I preached.
Mhm.
And then on the way back,
They didn't come to hear me preach. That's
no,
fine.
I just
want to point that out.
that's one of the reasons I said that.
No,
I just wanted to jab at you.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, it's fine.
It's still sticking in my side. Yeah, it's fine.
Where do we stop and have the...
Oh, Bacalli's.
Oh, my
Dude,
God.
Macaulay's is magical.
So good.
Yeah.
Gosh. Everything is fresh.
I did not
The
need to eat-
mushrooms they have there, it's just like
Oh.
sauteed mushrooms and garlic.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
What was Rachel saying? She was like, during COVID, that was the one place that was
Oh.
open.
Yeah. I remember 2020, nowhere was open, but that was our first meal out.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're just crying as we're eating. You know? It's so good.
I'm so happy to not be cooking.
Oh, but their strawberry shortcake, that's their signature. It's just
I
had
should have
a-
asked
the
how big
the best
how
part-
big we talking?
It's big. It's big
like
boy.
Rachel and I and the kids like split one, and each
Aaron-
Miller got a single one.
Well, I didn't know, and no one stopped me. So little Kensington, she said, "Daddy, I can't finish
Yeah,
this." I'm like,
there it
"Baby,
is.
I can't finish this. We're done."
So
done.
Good.
That's great.
I went to what was it?
Lennon,
Lennon-
Papa Lennon's.
Papa Lennon's for lunch, which was really delicious.
There's
Really
a lot of
good
restaurants
pizza.
there.
I went deep sea fishing in August, which was a first for me.
And how was that, Aaron?
I said, who did I say this to? It's all the things I hate in one contained space over a day and a half. And yet I'm happy that I went. I went with a group of dads and some of their sons and from Grace, and we went down to San Diego, H&M Landing. It was a day and a half. So we go out about 50, 60 miles off the coast of Mexico, and it was great. It was fantastic. But I was not prepared for the sleeping situation. It was pretty, like, you're in there like sardines. I was not prepared.
Are you
Although-
claustrophobic?
No, not really, but I want to be able to, I'm kind of a broad dude. And so I was like on the bottom bunk, and by that I mean a cubby on the ground. And then you're always moving, of course. You're right. Everything smells like fish. I watched a few brothers hard vomit like multiple times in front of me, which that just gets to you at some point in time.
It is an intimate experience.
Yeah, right. I mentioned no one by name. No, it was fun. My son enjoyed it. Again, it was a good time, but I don't know, man.
With a very cool catch, right?
Yeah, I can say Bo Lehman
Yeah.
caught a 188.6 pound Opa fish.
So if you're listening right now, pause the podcast, go over to the browser and look up an Opa. It's like a tropical dinosaur.
Yeah. And
Crazy looking thing.
the previous world record was 180 pounds. He got one that was 188.6. Now, here's the thing. He didn't qualify for the world record because the captain of the boat, had to help him reel it in, and they didn't qualify.
Right. Because if you assist,
Right.
it's a,
Which the thing was a monster. I don't know how anyone would
I
have
don't
done that by themselves.
but it could still qualify for the state.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah. So not world record, but maybe state record.
And evidently, it's like one of the best tasting fish.
I mean, you had some, right?
I did. It was good. I don't want to brag, but yeah.
Yeah.
I had a
But yeah.
delicacy that most people don't get to
A
enjoy.
lot of people don't get Opa.
Opa! Like, well, the captain, when they were reeling in the fish, he shouts, Opa! And I'm thinking he's just like celebrating.
Hooray!
Yeah, like in a Greek sort of
Like, oh, he's
fashion.
from Greece. Well, it's great.
Opa! I'm like, hey, Opa! Oh, it's a fish. It's a fish.
Speaking of fish, the fishing was pretty poor out in the Eastern Sierras where we were
Oh, yeah?
for summer vacation. Yeah, because I think there was so much snow and water, it was just moving too fast. They typically stock the rivers up there, and they didn't this year. So
Oh,
that was
You
a
caught
bit of a bummer.
anything?
Henry caught one, and Stephanie, my sister-in-law, caught one. That's about it.
so like
Edible?
compared to
Not
the past years, you've been.
Oh
able
yeah,
to-
I mean, we would go to spots where like we would always catch fish, and there's
Mm.
nothing in there.
That's disappointing.
So because everything was moving quick.
Yeah.
But man, I remember as a kid, like we would go camping, and we knew what the stocking truck sounded like. So we'd be in our tent, we'd be playing, and we hear that truck coming, and we'd grab our poles, run over to the river, and we'd see the guy take out a big old net, pour in the trout,
amazing.
and then
It's like Christmas.
just like pull them out for the rest of the day.
I don't like outside, so I didn't do any of that this summer.
I kept thinking about what you always say as I was getting on the boat. You can't die at sea if you don't go on the
get
sea.
on a boat. Can't die in the ocean if you don't get in the ocean. I know. I always I got to go to the coast of North Carolina, which was beautiful, but I never went more than waist deep.
They can still get you there, bro.
Stingrays.
And I always make sure, my tactic is I always make sure there are other people out farther than me, so the sharks will get them first, giving
your-
me time to flee.
Like your children and stuff.
Yeah. I had them like on inner tubes with a string. Make sure you kick. It looks like a seal flopping. Make sure you kick.
How was the humidity back east?
We've talked about this before. Every time, like when I moved out here and California people would go back east, they'd be like, it's so oppressive. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
No.
Now I've been here 10 years and going back, it's oppressive.
It's like being in the armpit of a giant.
It's
It is
so-
horrible.
Horrible. My shins would sweat. How does your shin sweat? It's mostly bone. We tried to eat outside a couple nights and it was like just dripping into my dinner. Like maybe we should just go inside.
Oh, did the kids get to play with lightning bugs?
They caught, yeah. So we had like a list of stuff we wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think we did most of it. One of them was catching lightning bugs. Andy caught a bunch. I think Sailor tried, but didn't quite get there. But yeah, it was great.
It's the
it's
little
beautiful
things you
there.
forget about when
It's
you
so green.
go back.
Oh yeah, that's it.
It is. I forgot though. I mean, you really can't see anything because it's like foliage. It's
Yes.
just right on you.
Yes.
So you just look at the next closest tree when you're outside.
Well, my wife, she lovingly kind of like poked me in the ribs on this one, but I was like, when we moved to California, I'm like, look at all these exposed towers and power lines. She goes, "Hun, they were right there
Yep.
back east as
It was
well.
buried.
The trees were just in the way."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, that makes sense. Of course.
No, I was reminded, like, especially in North Carolina, nature is trying to eat you. Like, it will take over your home if you do not fight it back.
Oh yeah, man.
The kudzu.
Kudzu, for sure.
Oh yeah, were there what were those bugs? The big screaming
Cicadas?
cicadas.
There were some
Dude.
cicadas.
Were they
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like the big one, but they
Okay.
were. Yeah.
And when those things like fall off the branches and die, it stinks.
Oh really?
It literally smells in the air.
Oh.
Yeah. What's the one that comes out every like 20 years or something?
It's those, but it's like more of them.
And they're bigger.
It's terrifying.
Like they come
They're
out
under the ground right now, sleeping, growing, waiting.
waiting, and there's never just one.
Oh man.
I remember back in the day where there were no mosquitoes in Southern California.
Dude.
Yep. It came over on a ship in Long Beach. It just took like 10 years for it to make its way out here. It's an 80s mosquito. It's like AEDES. And they're not like the ones that buzz up near your neck. They buzz
No.
by your ankles.
Their ankles.
You don't know
can't
that they've
see
been there
Biters.
until after you've already been bitten.
Yeah.
At least the ones on the East Coast or the ones up in Alaska, which mosquitoes are like the state bird up in Alaska. You can see them coming.
Yep.
They're
Did this
Invisible.
ever happen to you guys in Ohio when I was a kid? Once a week, a truck would come by spraying DEET into the air in the neighborhood, and we would all follow the truck. Does that happen here? It doesn't seem like
No.
they spray DEET anymore.
No.
Could actually explain some of the health problems I've had.
That
Because I'm like,
pesticides.
Well, you could bug my brother about this, but he has very sweet blood. So whenever we'd go camping,
well, he does eat a lot of sugar, to be fair.
we'd give it like one spray. I remember one year my parents got like 100% DEET,
Jeez.
and it looked like a
Also
little bottle.
known as poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And he would just take a little bit and put it all over.
Oh.
And I mean, mosquitoes didn't come within an inch of him.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but 100%
See how that
deep.
goes in his 60s, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
evidently, if you eat a lot of garlic or take, is it vitamin B or whatever,
really?
B12.
Oh, that's
That
right. Because our
helps.
team in Haiti would do that.
Yeah. But
Keeps him away.
yeah, it does make your skin smell after a while.
Some things are worth it. Yeah.
Maybe.
Did I miss anything? Anything like big happened last 6 weeks?
Honestly,
I mean, aside from the
a lot of
faithful
people-
working of the Father.
a lot
among
of
his
people were gone. Joe was gone a lot. Dave was on sabbatical. You had started your sabbatical. Ryan, you were here. I mean,
He was here. Yeah, off and on.
July flew. It flew by.
by.
It went quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard a lot of great feedback about the July seminars. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Good job for organizing that.
Yeah. Always room to improve. I have thoughts about next year, but yeah, thanks for that. That's encouraging. And then it was just fun also being able to preach for Dave.
That was fun.
While he was away. I appreciate him sharing his pulpit. It was very kind of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm also doing another church history tour in September.
That's coming up.
Yeah. The end of September through October 8th.
Good group.
Yeah, smaller group, 14, 16 people, and my mom and dad are going.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, no, that's fun.
That's awesome.
It'll be a good time, so I'll enjoy it.
Anywhere new that you're going?
Yes, so we're going to Newcastle, which we've never been to before, but it was a place that John Knox did a lot of ministry and preaching, so looking forward to.
If I'm
Stay there.
picturing the island of Great Britain,
Yeah.
like how do you make your way around?
So
Start south?
we start in London, which is
Okay.
in the south, and
Yeah.
we meander up. And so
Cool.
we'll hit Oxford, we'll hit Holworth, we will go to Newcastle. We'll swing by Scrooby, which is where the Pilgrim Fathers started out. Then, went to Amsterdam. From Amsterdam, eventually made it to the eastern shore of the United States. But as we then cross into Scotland, we hit Edinburgh and then up to St. Andrews. And we won't do an extender this trip. Last year, we took an extension of 3 days up in Inverness, which was great. But we won't do that this trip. So
It is a bucket list item, and I'd love to go with the two of you to the Eagle and Child in
Yes.
Oxford. And
Which
then-
is now a hotel.
Oh,
It didn't
really?
close, right? They still preserved it?
It where they sat, where the Inklings would sit,
Yes.
they preserved, but it's not like an active.
It's called the
public house.
Rabbit Room.
Yes,
That's
correct.
like the little booth.
Now across the street is also an historical location, Lamb and Flag, and that's where the Inklings would go if Eagle and Child was ever closed down,
Really?
and that's still active as a public house, and so you can go and see the features. It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Why don't we have places that are named like that here? Here we have like Thai food, burger place time. I want the Lamb and the Flag.
Yeah, man.
There's the Rose and Crown, actually.
Yeah, I tried to go there one time, and they're like, "Well, we're just not going to open today."
Oh, really?
I've never been back.
I will say, as a public house, McGinn's is
Yeah, McGinn's is
fantastic.
I was there Sunday.
McGinn's is great.
Yeah, to all our listeners.
Their salt potatoes are ridiculous.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, and I've had fish and chips before. They're like little hunks.
Mhm.
This was a whole side of a haddock.
Did you know that all
so
the
good.
furniture in that place, like they waited to open. They were scheduled to open at a particular
That's
date,
right.
but they refused to open until all the furniture from Dublin had made it over here.
It's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
You walk in, you feel like this thing has been here for 70 years.
Mhm.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Great location.
And you can tell. You sit on the cushion, it goes,
And a little dancing leprechaun jumps out from the back.
Please cut that. I appreciate the Irish a lot.
The one thing I would have against them is when I go
They
into a
lost their
place
first
like
love?
that, I want to hear some chieftains, some traditional Irish music. And it was like just top 40 from 1998. You know?
Well, we were there Sunday. I took the family there for my daughter's birthday lunch. And there was like 2 other birthdays going on. And I mean, yeah, they all sang happy birthday. My daughter gave me this look like, please don't tell them it's my birthday. I'm like, baby, we won't.
Oh, man.
So, bunch of
What's
Irish.
the Dublin version of the sombrero they bring out?
Yeah. Well, they did a call out from behind the bar there, and it was like, it's so and so's birthday, and then everyone in the place sang happy birthday to that person, and my daughter just gave me this
It's like a nightmare.
Dad, please,
Teenage girl nightmare.
Please, I'm
Please.
begging you. Please.
That's a neat area. Stores are starting to fill in over there. We did XRO churros. Have you ever had that?
Is that worth it?
The dipping sauces are worth
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Because it's like a $45 churro, isn't it?
I don't think it's that bad.
Honestly, I don't get the appeal of churros.
Really?
I mean,
I get it. I just
Now, as someone who grew up in Mexico, please tell us about
does it have? Here's the question, Jared. Here's the question. Because I don't know. Are they supposed to be soft or crunchy?
supposed to have a little bit of crunch on the outside, soft in the middle.
Okay. So the ones I've had, usually, in my opinion, are too
Mushy?
crunchy.
Oh, too
hard,
crunchy.
Too hard.
Well, they've been sitting out for a while.
Okay.
All the ones I got were like some guy on the side of the road who made them yesterday, and they've been in his cart for
Now, I rarely eat a churro, so yeah, I just the ones
once
I've had,
a year.
I'm like, ooh.
Once a year, I give myself a churro. It's churro day.
It's sort of like a Krispy Kreme donut. The best is when it's fresh out.
I didn't get any Krispy Kreme when I was in North Carolina.
Why
I
you
did
not?
get Cookout though.
You know, North Carolina is the home of
Uh-huh.
Krispy Kreme.
Started in Winston-Salem, where
Yeah.
we moved from.
Really?
It is the home.
Our first outing was at Krispy Kreme, and it
Like-
was for your birthday. Do you remember? Went down to Burbank.
Wait, like us as a group?
Yes.
I do remember that.
And we polished off a sleeve.
I
to each
do.
of us.
Yeah.
Why did I forget
Yes.
that? That's right.
Yeah.
That was what year?
We were shoving them in their
2014.
face in the
2014, 2015, something like
Yeah.
that? I remember just watching the donuts
conveyor
go
belt.
go under
Oh, my
the
word.
the
That-
glaze waterfall.
Yeah.
That is my hope,
Holy
is that
cow.
I can go through that Sunday like,
That is so delicious looking. Well, they have in North Carolina what they call the Krispy Kreme. Is it called the Krispy Kreme Challenge?
Mm-hmm.
Where you it's a 5K, and so you run, what,
You run a lap,
2.5 miles
eat
or whatever.
3 donuts, run a lap, eat 3 donuts, run a lap, eat 3 donuts, run a lap, eat 3 donuts.
Oh, that was not my understanding. I thought it was you run to the store, which is halfway, you finish off a dozen, and you run back.
Oh, there is that too. Yeah. There's
Sounds
one
like
to
your
track.
experience on the ship.
Oh, brother.
There is almost certainly some projectiling. Hey, listen,
Leave it to our
if you don't know
producers.
that vomit exists, then good for you. You're living a charmed life.
Well, guys, we should probably go back to our jobs.
This is our jobs.
Aaron, podcast is the ministry.
I bet you people would disagree with that one.
I miss you guys. I'm thankful, so thankful that Grace has given us this time. It's been really helpful, but I am looking forward to coming back at some point.
Agreed.
Love you guys. Thanks for hanging on this podcast. Well, folks, next week starts season 4 of Magnify. Hopefully you'll be able to stream with us and hang with us for another season. Thanks for streaming.